Good evening, folks. Welcome to another edition of Corporate Crash Course. I am your game master, who tonight for our game, I believe, is referred to as the Firefly, right?
So,
Yeah.
Yep.
As we're gonna play the Wildsea for the first time. Super excited for this. I'm joined by my two friends, Nick and Mike. How are you guys doing?
Excited.
Good. Good. I'm glad. Before we get started, properly, I guess, I figure we should probably get you guys to introduce your characters a little bit. Because Wildsea characters are absolutely nuts, and I feel like that's kind of an important thing to maybe get out in the open at first. Um, so it looks like Mike's still pulling some stuff up. So Nick, why don't you go first?
All right. What do you want to know? There's a
Just
lot.
who's your character? Let's start with that.
My character is Wur, um, who is an ironbound ridgeback word bearer. So this is basically a shipwreck golem. Quite large, like probably pushing 7 feet tall. Seems to be pieced together from broken planks and pieces of driftwood into a vaguely humanoid form, but instead of a right leg is a rusted and pitted plow anchor, like the one that catches on the sand and drags that way. Wur's left arm is kind of singed and burned more severely towards the hand and kind of returns to normal above the elbow.
Mm.
Generally kind of held together with frayed ship's ropes and a few iron bands and things like that. His head is a single large Fresnel lens like you'd have on the inside of a lighthouse. But curling from that are 2 goat horns. And then on some of the planks on his body, there's like scrawled script. Some of it is like carved in, some of it looks like it's burned in. Yeah.
Jesus.
They give you a lot to work with.
They do. That was very vivid. Really appreciate that. Mike, are you ready? You wanna take a turn?
No, I wasn't paying attention. I stunned Mike with my extensive description.
Yes, Mike is frozen. So I'm gonna vamp until Mike comes back. Okay, so Wildsea, really cool game. Basically, the idea being that vegetation has gotten incredibly out of hand. Yes, so people have effectively moved higher and higher, and okay, we're back. Sorry about that. Technical issues. So while I was vamping, or before I was vamping, Mike, do you want to talk about your character, or are you still just trying to get settled there?
Yeah, give me a second. Continue vamping.
Oh God. Okay. So yes, untethered vegetation and resulting in people basically now using ships to travel across the massive amounts of growth. The ships are fitted with gigantic chainsaws that basically like bite into the branches and such and rip through the leaves in order to move. People mostly live on islands that exist within this, on top of this gigantic canopy, be they like mountaintops or kind of lashed together bits of scrap. And yeah, people have just eked out a living for the last couple hundred years with this new situation, I guess. Shit's gotten weird, which is why we now have walking ship golems. That's all I got.
And walking cacti.
Oh, doing it? You playing an Ectus?
I am. Yes, so I have an Ectus who was an amber clad and is the crash, which is
Okay.
an individual with an eye for demolition and an appetite for destruction.
Do they have a name?
Cactar.
Really?
I wasn't very creative.
Oh God.
I love it.
You can call him Cac.
Call him
Do I
Cac
have
for
to?
short.
No, you don't have to. Cactar works.
Oh God. Okay. So, before we get started, also, the books recommend doing some unsetting, meaning looking for ways to kind of get us a little more into the world and into the right headspace. So based on this, so just to zoom back a little bit with it, we're playing the one of the, I guess it's technically the first written adventure for it, called the One-Armed Scissor, which takes place on a spit known as the Three Masks. So the spit, let me make sure that I'm not getting that completely wrong. Yeah, it's decently small. So Spit's kind of a small island community, not a massive city by any means. It's like 100 or so people, which we'll deal with in a little bit. But yeah, so some of the unsettling questions, we're basically going to try and see what kind of rumors you guys have heard about this. We're going to assume it's your first time landing at the Three Masks. Also, since there were supposed to be 4 of us and there's only 2 of you, in order to be able to bring them in, we're basically going to say that the 2 of you are on your ship right now and you're going to meet your other 2 people at Three Masks to then pick them up and continue on your journey. So which question do I like? Let's go with the middle one. So the Spit of Three Masks is famous for a literary festival. How do you think they celebrate? Or like, how have you heard that they celebrate?
Throwing books into the thrash.
The way the waves, like throwing them into the trees.
Yeah, throwing them into the trees.
Throwing them into the thrash?
The thrash.
Yes. Interesting. Okay. Nick, what you got?
Spoken word poetry contest.
Right, because we don't need the books, so we might as well convert it all into spoken word.
Well, presumably they write it down before they speak it. I don't know.
But what, they write it down and then throw it into the thrash?
And then speak it. That sounds
Right. Yeah.
That sounds ceremonial.
Perfect.
Whispers are a powerful thing here. Maybe they're trying to create whispers. The soul of the written word captured by the spoken word.
Mm-hmm. Makes perfect sense. Okay, so we're going to start you guys off on deck of your wonderful ship, which is. Why do I not have the ship?
The skeleton key. I have
skeleton key. Right. Yeah, because I also just sent you through your ship sheet, which is helpful. So yes, the skeleton key. Not a very big ship. Again, it's it must be small enough that two of you are kind of able to man it, keep it running. You're currently sitting on top of the thrash. The sound, I imagine the two of you are used to the sound by now, but to us, the sound would be absolutely cacophonous. Just as the wind up this high, is constantly rustling the leaves at a very loud volume. And it'd be enough so that it probably you can still hear it over the sound of your engine driving the chainsaw that's pushing your ship forward through the thrash. The smell of burning fuel and just freshly kind of torn apart lumber just emanates in a cloud around your ship as it kind of traverses through. And as you see, the leaves basically rustle and shift like waves, like water, as like a green tide stretching from kind of horizon to horizon. And you probably would have seen the spit a few hours ago, but you've been getting closer and closer to it. You've got a map which somebody at a past location has given you, and you're supposed to be meeting your two new crew members there to be picked up, while hopefully also maybe finding some work to continue to survive. It's kind of what you end up having to do. I don't know. Do you guys have any idea? Do you wanna describe what being on the ship has been like? Considering you're a giant hulking golem and cactar.
Well, technically, I think there are two mandatory jobs on the ship,
Yes.
which means that we either each have a job that we have been doing this whole trip, or we've been switching off. I don't know that I'd necessarily be better at one or the other.
What are the two jobs? I didn't get to the ship.
Helm, so steering, or watch.
I feel like I'd be better at helm. I'm not very good at watch.
I was also gonna say
Okay.
I don't know if your golem would necessarily fit in the helm, because typically with these ships the helm is actually an enclosed space to like protect you. And I don't know if it's like got 10-foot ceilings that would accommodate the behemoth that is Whir.
That's true. And I feel like we're with the lens, just like standing on the prow. That's like a pretty imposing.
Yes.
If it gets dark, I'll just hold a lantern. Actually, I think I have a lantern. That's one of my resources. I'll just hold a lantern at the back of my head and.
Okay, so as you've been getting closer and closer, you can see as you get closer, the spit becomes more, is coming more into focus. And really, so like I said, it's not very big, right? It's like 100 people, so it's kind of a mishmash of debris and shipwrecks parts kind of lashed together in like this weird makeshift little raft. It's got a number of ships already kind of tied to it in docks. But as you're approaching, really the only thing that stands out amongst the kind of the shanty town that exists there is right in the middle of it. There is a huge fucking Leviathan badger skull. It's basically right in the middle of the town that kind of sticks up over top of everything. And it's got smoke like coming out of its eye sockets. And as you see that, you then notice a boat or a ship, sorry, coming out of port, moving in your direction, and over a loudspeaker, you hear halt, stop, customs check. We gotta check out your cargo before we let you into port.
Cactar, we must halt.
Okay.
All right.
Is there a reason we wouldn't want to do that?
I don't know. Are you carrying anything that might be contraband?
I'd say it's 50-50.
Okay. The small ship pulls up beside you. I guess it's probably maybe just slightly smaller than your ship. If your ship has space for cargo, this one's really just kind of a patrol vessel, I guess. And a small ardent kind of hops on board. I'm assuming goes up to whir because Cactar, I'm guessing, is still at the helm. Yes, thank you, Hillary. Always make sure your contraband is clearly labeled.
Makes it easier for everyone.
Just declare it, and I'll let you through half the time anyway.
Yeah, typically. You may have to pay the duty, but yeah, it's still cheaper. So the Ardent walks up to her and is just kind of like, all right, so what do you guys got in here?
Do we have anything, or are we coming in empty to look for work?
It's up to you two. So sorry, I'll back up a little bit and we'll kind of make this a little bit better. So with the way that the world exists right now in Wildsea, it's basically like a pure barter economy, right?
Okay.
So you probably would have something. You'd need something to trade at kind of any port you go to in order to get food, to get supplies, to get anything else you need. So you probably would keep some kind of reserve of stuff on hand to help get you there, right?
Right. Okay. As a word bearer, would I have like a badge or something to like? I don't have that as a resource. Maybe I should put that in as a resource instead of some of the random. I just kind of grabbed random examples. That feels like something that I would actually have to have mechanically, right? Because I'm basically a mail delivery person.
That's a
person.
good point. I would say, yeah, I think a badge would be understandable.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna just trade out one of my whatever resources for that. All right, I'll look at the customs person and kind of slowly, the badge is like riveted onto my chest. I'll just point to the badge and say deliveries and pickup.
The customs agent kind of looks at it and goes, "Oh, yeah, okay. Right, good. Mail. We appreciate that. Sorry, we're just we've been waiting for some books to come in and people are getting rather antsy, but I won't delay you guys too much more. You clearly need to be moving on your way."
The stories are missing.
Yeah, you know what? It's not a big deal. It's not really for you guys to worry about right now. Just welcome to Three Masks. No big deal. And he goes and hops back down and gets in this little boat and turns around and fucking drives off.
Cactar, we may proceed.
He's a little bit ahead, and he's just kind of
Him on
like
the road.
it's like ushering you to one of the docks.
I guess I'll dock the ship. What's our ship called again?
Skeleton Key.
The Skeleton Key. With
Yes.
the skeleton crew.
Yes. Just the two of you.
Yeah,
Just the two of us, apparently.
Okay. What a cool ship name.
Gordon taking great care to just kind of scrape the dock as I go by.
The ardent customs officer stares at you, watching, kind of eye twitching, looking slightly annoyed. Okay, so you dock, and as you kind of cut the engine, you still very much hear the rustling over top of everything. Walking down the plank, you see like I was saying, it's basically like a shanty. So it's a bunch of these low buildings. They're all made out of really scavenged material, bits of ships, random planks, bits of metal, and you're seeing a bunch of citizens, particularly Ardents, Celicrae, and more Ironbound, walking around. Like I said, I mentioned the giant badger skull, the smoke. You're hearing a lot of sounds, a lot of speaking. Probably noticing that it's like low sour, chthonic, and knock. People are yelling, like it's typical kind of market yelling. People are trying to get people to come into shops and stuff. And you're smelling a lot of food, mushrooms, citrus, probably even smells of like wood and oil from ironbounds that kind of walk past. So you've come into town. What is the plan?
I assume we're here to deliver letters.
I have a few to deliver. Now I have an old faded chart of outposts, like post offices, essentially. Is there one on this spit?
So there is. Your map is marking a place known as Pulaski's. So
Okay.
So on a spit this size, what's the ship name? I don't have sound right now. Oh, sorry.
I got
All right. Sorry. Oh, Nick's got it. There you go. So on a spit this size, there's no dedicated post office, right? It's also like, it's not like a fucking government function or anything, right? So it's marked out as basically the local tavern that kind of acts as a post office as well.
Okay. Sorry, what was the name?
Pulaski's.
Pulaski's.
Yes.
I must find this Pulaski's.
Lead the way.
Based on your map, it seems relatively close by.
Okay. I will start to plod through the market.
Okay.
Towards the tavern.
Yep.
Follow
So
behind, dragging my giant hammer behind me.
Oh no. we're a good pair.
fine. So Pulaski's is a slightly bigger looking building. You find it within the market. It's as you kind of walk in, it's a fairly quaint establishment. Like it's got a lot of big windows. As you walk in, again, it's a tavern, but you're noticing more people are like drinking tea. Kind of weirdly enough. It's got a bar. The bar has a display of axes hanging above it, which is pretty dope. I'm not gonna lie. But otherwise, bookshelves line the walls. Tons of them, and one of the bookshelves is actually currently empty. Weirdly enough. Again, otherwise, people are kind of sitting around. Some are chatting, some are reading. Most are drinking tea, some are drinking beer, or some kind of an ale mixture. Sorry. We'll say as you walk in, there's probably about, I don't know, 5 people sitting at tables and one person standing behind the bar polishing a glass.
The classic talk to me pose.
Of course.
I'll lumber over there and, deposit my sack, maybe on a stool next to the bar. I'll rummage through and pull out a couple of letters, and I'll say to the bartender, "These are direct delivery," and then I'll hand over the rest.
He kind of looks at you and is just kind of like, well, thanks. I guess I got some for you too. And he kind of like looks under the bar, pulls out a bunch of letters kind of taped together or bound together, and hands it back over to you. Yes, Hillary, the barman has a mustache because of course he does. Although I didn't settle on this. I want to make the barman a spider guy. He's gonna be Telecray because why not? We haven't dealt with one of them yet.
It'd be like spiderweb, like.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. Honestly, I could just have probably like a coffee table book of different renditions
right?
of character art for this man. It's so cool.
Because now I'm seeing it as he's like this weirdly hunched over kind of like, like silken kind of hooded individual with a really weird wispy spiderweb mustache. Yes, this is my cat. And yeah, he hands you the letters back.
Thank you. Your books, they are missing?
Yeah, we were expecting a delivery a little while ago. I mean, I'm not really worried about it as much, but I know a lot of the other patrons are.
Cactar, do you care for refreshment?
If you're buying.
If I have any money, I mean, I guess there's. I didn't
That's the
take
thing.
like
There's no money.
scratch as a. Yeah, I got to trade. Hmm. Would
It does definitely say you would have scratch.
I would
So
start with scratch? Okay.
yeah,
All right.
like it's just shit you'd find in your pockets that isn't particularly useful.
Right.
Hmm.
Maybe I just, rip out a couple of rivets that aren't really, holding anything anymore. Put them down on the bar. Oil for me.
All right. Can I interest your companion in slow brewed mushroom tea or an ink black ale?
You can.
Well, okay, but which one would you prefer?
The ale.
Excellent. He kind of moves over behind, and I'm picturing it as like a typical British kind of draft pull.
Mm-hmm.
As the jet black beer comes out and foams, and even the foam is just dark black as well. Dark black. What a redundant fucking statement.
Opaque.
I'll just stick my finger in it.
Excellent.
Yeah, does my oil come with a brush or a sponge or something?
No.
Rag?
It's just like I don't know. He puts up like a little kind of tin can with a little spout to a really small point up at the top. And yeah, then he holds out his hand, waits for your handfuls of scratch.
Yeah, I'll hand him enough for both.
Excellent. Pleasure doing business with you, gentlemen. Or gentle beings.
I'm gonna scan the bar, the tavern, looking for one of the people who's reading.
Okay. So there are a couple of people who are reading. One of them is an elderly ardent, sitting in a corner in a large kind of wingback chair on his own. The other one is, we'll say, a slightly smaller ironbound, probably only like 6 feet. Sitting in the other corner, not sitting on a chair, just like on the ground, legs crossed. And the third one will be a younger looking ardent female, sitting in another kind of wingback chair, more in kind of like the middle of the main area.
Okay. I am going to try to find a story.
Looking for something to throw into the thrash.
Perhaps.
They got bookshelves right over there. Or those letters you just picked up would go in real nice.
Wait, hang on 1 second. Where is
Waiting.
it here? I want to get it right. I want to get it right.
What are we waiting?
This will be delivered, which is the word bearer's oath.
Ooh.
I feel like
appreciate that.
I feel like
but does it
Word
tell you
has
where
to
they
tell
need-
that to Cactus.
Yes, very frequently. Does it say where it needs to be delivered to, though?
Well, yeah, there's going to be
Yes,
um,
right, right there.
a quick sketch of the
Load of
delivery for the
gibberish.
tractor. I'm more imagining that now, with as they're going, especially if Whir is like on watch at like the front of the ship, just like has a piece of paper that he's just kind of like slowly moving a pencil along and like tracing as the ship moves slightly.
Live package progress. Word is on his way. Your package will be there in the next 3 hours.
He gets to the delivery point, finishes the map, and it's just like, shit, we gotta go back and hand this off now. Guys, I messed up. Um okay. Sorry. So
Happy
where's
here.
gonna go looking for
wanna-
a story?
Yeah, I'd like to talk to the older Ardent, I think.
Okay. You move your way over. He is he's drinking an ale, got a book open. How do you plan to approach?
Uh, I'd like walk up and introduce myself, basically. Gauge
Okay.
his reaction. Greetings, I am called Whir.
We're a
Yes.
all right. What's your story there, We're?
I have many. I wish to know what has happened to the books.
You're gonna have to be a bit more specific.
I
As you can see,
gesture at the
there
empty
are
shelf.
uh okay, the empty ones. Well, a certain delivery that was expected has not arrived.
Hmm. An oath broken, perhaps. That will not do.
Possibly, though I doubt it. Um I know the ship pretty well, and I would be very surprised if the lateness of the delivery were not due to unexpected or unforeseen circumstances.
Hmm. That is very understanding. What is the name of this ship? Perhaps we encountered them.
It's they're known as the One-Armed Scissor.
Would that not be just a knife?
He ponders for a second and then starts laughing and is just like, you know, humor isn't really something I tend to expect out of Ironbound.
Hmm.
He stays smiling after that. And he kind of says, okay, well, look, why don't the two of you bring your drinks over here and we could chat if you've got some more questions.
Hmm. Yes.
By the way, sorry, my name is Makis.
Macus.
Yes.
Does Cactar come over? Or is Cactar doing something else? Sitting there with your finger in your drink, just
Just sitting with the finger in the drink, probably examining the axes above the bar.
Hmm.
Mac is kind of like looks over. He's just like, he's with you, right?
Mm, some of the time.
Sorry, I'll try not to stare. I'm not used to seeing a lot of ectus around these parts.
Mm.
I'm just picturing Cactar like finger and drink, other arm like on the bar, like chin on the fist, just staring at the axes.
Hearts coming out.
Oh no, one hand always on the giant hammer.
Right. Sorry. Okay. Well then, like I don't know, finger and drink, head on other one, hand on hammer. They work
Did you
somehow.
describe Cactar beyond, beyond the
Giant hammer?
Or is,
No.
He's fairly big. He's got a swarm of bees that crawls all across him. He's
Oh,
got a
great.
giant hammer, and he's also got on his side a double barrel shotgun.
Yeah, the bees would have been helpful. I kind of wish I understood that
Oh, I'm sorry,
earlier.
I didn't mention that.
That's fair. I just could have had more fun with it, but oh well. You live and you learn.
yes, Macus, the bees are somewhat unusual even amongst their kind.
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of crazy shit in my day. So
A story, perhaps?
if you're willing to give me one in return,
Of course.
excellent. He proceeds to relay to you a tale of um, a librarian scavenger sailing the thrash in the One-Armed Scissor, which you're now realizing based on his description does very much sound like a knife that kind of cuts through the brush, which is great. And yeah, he talks about having been on the crew for a number of years until injury forced him to have to stop and pick up a post here, working as an overseer at the local docks, spending his time outside of that, enjoying an ale and a good book at this here lovely establishment.
Does the description of the boat ring a bell?
Um, I mean, what is so other than a kind of a mail delivery person? What else would Word know? Like, was he particularly involved in you know movements of books?
Uh, Not necessarily. We might be interested in like scavenging old books and things like that. Definitely some interest in like poetry and that sort of thing. I'm just gonna double check what the lores I'd have from um, like older songs and poems, and uh, yeah, that would probably be the closest thing.
Then I'm gonna say the name maybe it's the name, maybe it's the description of an adventure or two that Makis describes to Word. But it definitely sounds like maybe a vessel of legend a little bit. Um, if it is the one that you're remembering, the vessel in question typically tends to kind of uh, conduct like annual routes, which again very much fits with Macus's story. Traveling to the same ports around the same times of year, scavenging around the same kind of times, always coming back with new materials. So it would seem odd that, according to Macus, at least, they're about a month late.
Hmm.
There might be the sound of shattering glass from the bar.
Why, Mike?
Somehow the cup I was drinking out of has broken.
The Celicrae behind the bar visibly tenses at the sound of breaking glass. And kind of looks at Cactar and is just like,
Oops.
you want to just take it? Like, I'm not gonna use it now that it's broken.
Yourself.
Good way to make some scratch. Walk into a bar, buy a drink, and smash the glass. Ooh, look,
Half
pocket
pint
change.
glass.
It's a I will say it's a it's an amber mug.
An amber mug.
Yes.
Hmm.
So you now have a broken amber mug.
Excellent.
And yes, Bellamy, it is apparently somehow Mike doesn't feel like telling me why the glass broke. It just broke.
Things just have a tendency to break around Cactar.
Yep. Luckily, all of the ink black ale was gone before it broke.
Absolutely wouldn't want to waste it.
Of course. The Zelicrae behind the bar as well has now stopped polishing all of the glasses and has now taken one of the axes down and is starting to polish that. Not in a threatening way, just in a very this is part of the routine kind of way.
I will lift up the head of my hammer and start doing the same.
Are you like staring at him while you do it?
I don't have eyes.
Okay. I mean, the Zelicrae doesn't really kind of either, but I'm gonna say Cactar gets the sense that he's kind of like watching, and like if he had eyes, they would be narrowing slightly. Okay.
I think I may have to put down the hammer and pull out my shotgun and start polishing that.
Zelicrae just slowly edges to the end of the bar. Some of the spiders, like you see, like some of the spiders accidentally like fall out and then have to like climb back up into their body. Okay, we should go back to Wur and Macus before this shootout occurs. Okay, so Macus finishes the story and looks at Wur and it's just basically like, okay.
Yeah, I'll tell him a story about a shipwrecked sailor who made a 3-week journey in a makeshift canoe across the thrash. And returned to found let's say a new religion worshipping the sun.
At the sound of the adventurers traversing the thrash in a canoe of sorts, you see his eyes kind of widen and sparkle a little bit. Just like, wow, that must have been very dangerous.
Yes, I believe he credited his survival to his new god.
As you say that, Macus kind of like brings his hand up and scratches his stubble, and is able to notice, maybe even just for kind of a split second, some very kind of shiny skin coming up from his cuffs, almost as though he's hiding some kind of like a burn scar or something.
Okay. I'll raise my own burned hand, and kind of, flex it like I'm stretching or something like that, and say, I sense you may have many stories.
He immediately notices the burn and just kind of nods and says, yeah, some are not to be told, though.
All should be told eventually, but I, for one, am patient. It was nice to share with you, and then I'll get up and leave him his space.
Excellent. Okay. He goes back to sipping his ale and is reading his book. He maybe still has that kind of hint of a smile. As Word gets up and leaves, heads back over to Cactar, I assume, who's still polishing a shotgun. The Zealocrate now has
polished.
the Zealocrate now has a second axe down and is polishing it with a gusto of sorts.
Cactar, I must deliver these direct messages. Do you wish to accompany me?
Indeed. I'll put my
Zealocrate.
shotgun down, swing my hammer up over my shoulder, possibly knocking it into something.
It collides with where there's just like a dent. Like this has happened a dozen
multiple times. Yeah.
Yeah.
As you're looking to leave, the Zealocrate just looks at Word and is just like, yeah, please just get him out of here. I can't risk any more glasses being broken.
I'll gently put my tin can down on the bar. Make my way
lumber out. Okay. So you're back out in the market again. Now you're hearing the raucous sounds of the leaves again, of the people in their market stalls. The smell inside of the tavern was a little bit more subdued, but again, now you're hit with all of the smells of roasted mushrooms, citrusy tang of slime apples. Yeah, where are you guys headed now? I also want to say, I feel like the streets are fairly cramped, especially for an 8-foot tall ironbound. 7 feet, sorry, not 8 feet. I wrote it down.
Yeah. I mean, he's kind of hunched, You might misjudge. That lens on his shoulders is pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would like to make these deliveries, but I'll look at Cactar and say, hmm, should we be seeking supplies?
Hmm. Do we have any supplies on the ship? We probably should get supplies.
We have a lemur pack, which I just wanted to mention because I don't know if that's going to come up, and I wanted to just air that out, that we have a pack of lemurs living on our ship.
Like in a cage?
It says we have a lemur pack that keep the ship free of insects.
Great.
Oh, excellent.
So you just have free lemurs on the ship.
Cactar, did you lock the lemur cage before we disembarked?
Was I supposed to?
Always put the lemurs away, man.
It is part of our docking procedure.
Hey, I docked the ship. You're supposed to make ready for us to leave. The last time that I broke the lemur cage, you told me I couldn't maintain it anymore.
Mm.
And I swear
Why
I
do you
don't know
keep
how my
breaking
hammer got
things?
wedged in there.
I told you, that's just the noise they make. We must learn to live with it.
We haven't found any lying dead around the ship lately.
Lately.
It's getting better.
Lately.
Yes, they do appear more comfortable in the open areas of the vessel.
Our lemur population hasn't been going down anymore. Oh, Jesus. Well, I mean, you could still put the letters on the ship and check on your lemurs. I will also say, just as the other point of clarification, you are supposed to meet your other two party members tomorrow. We'll say. That doesn't mean you need like accommodations or anything in the city or in the town. You have a ship you can sleep on. That's not a big deal. But
Does Cactar need to sleep?
It's a living cactus. You're a living ship.
No.
Neither of you really needs to sleep. Who cares?
Or eat, for that matter. So we really don't need to reprovision.
Your supplies are purely for the lemurs.
Yeah,
and
no, they eat the insects.
for
You
Patrick
need a little
ship.
water for them.
Eat the insects. Like you think there's gonna be enough insects on the ship for multiple lemurs?
There's insects all around me.
Oh, that's true.
That's
Keep giving
why
them
we
your
have such a problem. The lemurs keep looking for honey.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I was not expecting one of you to say that you brought a freaking lemur cage in your ship.
You gave me the ship.
I didn't read it. It's not my ship to maintain. Why would I read this sheet? Oh God.
So what time of day is it at this point?
I don't know. Say it's like early afternoon.
Well,
I
I'm
will
eager to
go
get-
check on the lemurs.
Indeed.
What were you gonna say?
I said I'm eager to get back out on the waves.
But we are. Yes, we await our crew.
Maybe I'll look for a book to throw off the spit.
Okay. Do you want to go back to Pulaski's.
Gonna
And
walk
get a
right
book.
back in.
Hmm. He did have books. No, I'm gonna head back to the ship.
Okay.
I'll go drop my delivery, like my pickup
Yep.
on the ship, check on the lemurs, and then we can go back into town and look for a book.
Oh, the lemurs have definitely escaped. The cage was not locked.
Hmm.
Perhaps they will return to sleep.
I'm just gonna leave. You're not gonna find the leaf.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Well, how am I gonna find the lemurs? I guess, do I have I don't know that I have a good way to find the lemurs.
What would sense be useful there?
I feel like it would. Intuition.
Should we make a first roll of this entire game on if you can find the fucking lemurs?
I mean, like, I have my closest would be wave walk and scavenge. Wave walk is like navigation, and scavenge. Yeah, I think sense is probably closer. Sense, I feel like is like
Oh yeah.
it's a perception-y type thing.
Yep. Do you got an edge? What's your edge?
It's I do not have an edge that would help with that, I don't think.
Oh, I have instinct, which all I think lines up with sense. I could potentially.
Oh, it does. It very much does. Okay, so you're looking at 2d6 right now. And so for advantage,
Why can't I find?
correct me if I am wrong, but basically if you have anything you can think of that would help you in this situation. Now, if the story you're telling me is correct and the task of taking care of the lemurs was transferred from Cactar to Whir in the past because of Cactar's inability to not break the lemur cage. I would think that that's worth an extra die of advantage because you're used to taking care of the lemurs somewhat, and thus would be a little bit more in be able to intuit them a little bit better.
Actually, I do have sharps and sense. Would that be?
Your sharps. So I mean, so if you're helping Mike, provides the edge. So basically, you both have a good edge. So it really doesn't matter which one we pick. It's more a question of if you can get more skills.
I don't really
Or
have a
if you
skill
have-
that applies. You'd
Yeah,
probably
and I
need
have-
that with skills.
I have
How many
sense.
skills? Okay, the way that the helping hands piece is worded, it won't just add to it, right? We're basically picking. So there's 3 buckets, all right? There's edge, there's skill, language, and advantage. So
Right.
since edge is only 1 die, so I can pick for the buckets from either of the 2 of you. So it's a question of which one of you can provide the most. Since you both have an edge, it doesn't really matter who I pick. But if you
Gotcha.
can get more skill, because Nick only has 1 skill, it's applicable.
No, I don't have any. I don't think I have any skill that's applicable.
I thought you would.
I have an edge.
No, I have sense.
No, he has sense. So I think he should.
And I have sense
roll.
too.
Oh, so that's 2 extra dice.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So we got 1 from edge, which is good. 2 from skill, from Mike, who's helping, and then we have an advantage. So we have 4. And sorry, for those of you who don't know, the way that Wildsea skill checks work, as we're trying to link through this, there's 3 buckets: edge, skill / language, and advantage. Each of them gives up to a number of d6s. So edge gives 1d6, skill language can give up to 3, and advantage can give up to 2. And depending on if extra crew members are helping, they can offer up kind of a better version of one or more of those pools in order to increase the dice count. Because ultimately we want a 6, and maybe doubles. So we'll see. So our first roll, we're going with 4d6. So go ahead, Nick.
Okay. We have 1, 3, 5, and 4. So 5 being the highest, I think gets me a complicated success. I don't know, would this be...
Does.
I guess this would just be a generic action, so...
Yes.
Okay.
So success with a drawback. Okay. So... and sorry, did you get doubles?
No.
No.
doubles.
No? Okay. Yeah. So, success with a drawback. Fine. You find all but one of the lemurs. You get them successfully back into the cage. And as you're putting the last one you've been able to find in, you notice that a window has been opened. It looks like a lemur may have escaped off the ship.
Bloody.
So is that a mark on the lemur track then?
Do we have a lemur track?
Yeah, there's a three
Oh my god.
mark lemur track. So I assume that would use up one of the tracks.
Yes.
Alrighty.
I'll go ahead and close the window with my hammer.
I don't know what
Yeah.
happens if that track gets full.
I think we don't have the lemurs anymore, would be my
This
guess.
would help if I read the entirety of the rulebook before we started playing. Thought I could get away.
Well, temporary tracks. Yeah, we can look it up, but I'm pretty sure that it would mean that they're gone. Like when you have resources that burn like that, they're busted, I think.
You might just need to get more lemurs.
Yeah, I guess. Okay. Well, I will not make that mistake again.
I hope not, but it's okay. I've sealed the window.
Will we ever be able to open that window again?
I don't know. I'm picturing like Cactar like crushes the side of it into the frame so that it can't open again.
It may be a little cracked, but it's still good as new.
I see. Man, this crew that we're picking up tomorrow.
They're in for a grand old time.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, books.
Okay,
All
you're
right.
going to look for books. Well, would you have
Yes.
books on the ship?
I don't think so. I feel like that would be a resource, particularly for me. And also, that's not how I operate with stories. I might have, I don't know, I might have like old books that I'm in the process of like transcribe, like that I salvaged and whatever, but not like
You throw
a
those
shipment
off
of
the
books, I don't
slip.
think. Sorry, what was that, Mike?
We could throw those off the slip.
Sorry, I think my headset cut out. Can you try one more time for me?
He's
We
just saying you
throw
can throw your
books off the slip. Get rid of your books.
Oh, yeah, no, I wouldn't want to do that. That's true. Yeah, let's go look for books.
Okay.
You insist.
I mean, where do you
Heft my hammer over my shoulder.
where do you want to look? Like, are you didn't see any in the market as you were walking through.
Hmm.
I mean, the only place you've seen on the slip so far that has books was back at Pulaski's.
Hmm.
But that's not to say that they might not be somewhere else. That's just, kind of the only way. Um, that's just kind of the only way you've noticed it over there, right? You didn't go to the giant badger skull yet.
We could ask
I'm-
someone what's going on up there.
So I'm good to just wander around the market.
Yeah, that's true. We can look around, see if somebody's got something.
Maybe we'll ask someone if they sell books. Is there anybody who has writing supplies, sales, maybe parchment?
So the market is full of I want to say pretty typical stuff for a slip. So you got a lot of people who are selling food. Like I mentioned, it seems like a lot of mushrooms, and a little bit of fruit. No real meat. Some are trying to sell like boat supplies, maintenance supplies. Some have
Any
like
instruction manuals with the boat
oil.
supplies.
You find a fairly enthusiastic barker, um, who is what were my things? Hold on. We'll make him ardent again. Why not? Kind of looks over and is just like, what am I doing? Where did I go in here? Hold on. I'm losing my mind here. Oh, an ectus, eh? We haven't seen you around these parts in a long time.
I'll go over and I'll take my hammer off my shoulder and just plop it down on the ground. Hopefully not hitting anybody's foot, but things happen.
Things do happen. You don't.
I'm looking for a book.
Sorry, did you say a hook, Sonny? And he pulls up a hook off of the table attached to a piece of rope.
No. A book.
That's what I'm holding up. A hook.
Can I see the hook?
Sure. He hands it to you.
No, it's not a very good hook. It's gonna crush it in my hand.
Oh. Well, I'm sorry. I don't really know what to do in this situation now.
You know where I can find a book?
Sorry, were you saying a book? Is that what you've been saying this whole time? And he kind of like puts a finger in his ear. Just like, I swear, my hearing's not the same as it was before.
I don't have ears.
So I've heard.
I've not heard anything. Where can I find a book?
Jesus. Well, I mean, if you need books, most of them are kept at Pulaski's. I mean, he kind of like looks under his table. I mean, I guess I got this one, and he plops a huge like instruction manual on the table.
Aha. Excellent.
It's a an instruction manual for a chemical engine, not the type that your ship has, rather older model.
That's exactly what I'm looking for.
Great. Well, I'll let it go, fairly easily. And he holds out his hand.
I will give him the broken mug.
Looks at it. Puts it in his pocket.
I will take the book.
Y'all come back now, you
Seth?
hear?
I don't hear.
Right. Sorry. That was your thing. You turn around and walk away and you see him trying to unbend the hook.
Oh, and as I turn around to walk away, I'm going to heave my hammer over my shoulder and just turn, swinging it wildly.
You knock one of the posts out, bringing down the top of his stall. Oh, my lord.
Success.
Anyway.
I have found a book.
You have found a book.
Lots of pictures.
Well, it's got to go over the side. I'm going to make my way back to the dock
Okay.
and just start tearing out pages and throwing them off into the thrash.
You tear the pages out of this thing, and it's like a phone book. So the pages are fairly easy to tear out. And as you throw them, and they scatter into the wind, kind of floating out over the sea of rippling green. And they kind of land on top and ride the waves, being taken further and further out in almost like a weird parade of papers across the water.
Oh, where did you want to read this before I started throwing it into the sea?
He's ripped about half of the pages out by this point.
Thank you, but no.
Excellent. I'll continue ripping pages out. Oh no. We've broken him.
Have you been rehearsing for the spoken portion of the ceremony?
No, I figure I'll wing that one. This is rehearsal for the throwing of the books. That's the hard part.
It appears you are quite capable.
You never get too much practice.
Okay, you've successfully ripped up and thrown a book back into the thrash. You have fed the trees back to themselves in the most fucked up display I have ever seen.
This is like an ashes to ashes, dust to dust, paper to pulp. This is getting spiritual. Yeah.
Well, I feel like I had a pretty successful day.
Okay, it's now mid-afternoon. What do you feel like doing?
Oh my god.
All right, fine. Later afternoon.
What do people do for fun around here?
Try not to die, I think. I would like to hang around the docks and talk to sailors and dock workers and potentially the customs person and see if I can figure something out about the knife ship there, the One-Armed Scissor, whatever.
Yeah. Customs buddy would tell you probably a similar story to Macus. But he might throw in a bit of an interesting wrinkle on it. He mentions that a couple of the ships that have come in recently Um, speak of a root quake that the spit remembers from about a month ago. The ships were talking about how root quakes happen all the time. That's not what's weird, right? Root quakes happen and they tend to change the topography of things. And some of the ships were talking about how this root quake in particular seemed to maybe bring up something new from below the thrash. Like there was a new kind of point of interest not too far from the spit. And no, Bellamy, we are not changing the name of the ship to the Knife. It is still going to be whatever the hell I called it.
We should
The
call
One-Armed
it
Scissor.
One-Armed
The One-Armed
Scissor.
Scissor.
The Knife's Edge.
Okay. That seems very coincidental. Is anyone able to give to yeah.
I don't like this now. I'm getting roasted in chat.
Is anyone able to give me like direction and distance or something?
So the customs agent kind of does. So the thing is that you don't really have like a good map of the area, right? You talk about your kind of delivery route map. It's fairly rudimentary. It's not like,
Yeah.
you know, it doesn't really tell you a lot about the areas, or especially the areas in between. And as we mentioned, like when root quakes happen or when other things happen, the topography can shift, right?
Right.
So even if it was reliable at one point, it may not be necessarily reliable anymore. So he kind of like, as you're talking to him and you maybe show him the map that you do have, he kind of tries to mark where it is. I'm assuming also based on some of the other locations you've been to and stuff that he might recognize. He kind of uses them in an approximate way. But you kind of get to a point where he kind of looks at you and he's just like, you know what, this probably would just be easier if you just went to Overlook House and talked to Old Spar Lisbeth there. She'd probably be better at giving you a little bit more of an exact location.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. The whole time also, as he's been talking to you, he's just staring at Cactar, watching the giant hammer.
It's just sitting on the ground, hopefully not having hit anyone's foot when I dropped it.
You're the only person on the ship. Maybe you got a lemur. I'll go back to Cactar and say I would like to visit Overlook House while we are here. I fear that a delivery may have been lost.
Suit yourself. Lead the way.
So the customs agent had pointed you towards Overlook House. It's kind of in between the dock and the market and the Badger Skull that I mentioned. And actually, I'm realizing now as you're walking through, the Badger Skull looked like it was in the center, I guess, but maybe just due to the size of it, it actually sits in a relatively large portion towards the back part of the spit. So this house, Overlook House, actually sits more in the center of the spit overall. It's surrounded by a small garden of parasite fruit trees. And it's got like a small, cute little sign out in front that just says like Overlook House, Kartoika, which means it's a place of maps and charts.
But they have books. That gets more practice in.
Sometimes they might. Who knows? So, are you going in?
I would like to. I feel like I might like hold the door for Cactar so that I can, watch the hammer.
That seems like a good idea because Cactar just straight up over the shoulder, up in the air, walks through, not even trying to keep it from hitting the door jamb.
Good. So it's like a normal size door. So Whir has to like kind of scrunch down a little bit to get inside. And inside, it's not a very big building. It's probably decent size, but the fact of the matter is that in one corner there's a massive desk behind which a like 8.5 foot tall ironbound is sitting. You immediately can tell she's too big to fit out the door. And as the two of you enter, and there's a little bell above the door that tinkles as you open the door. She immediately looks up and she just kind of very calmly says, "Hello."
Hello. What was the name that I was given for who to talk to? Sorry.
Lisbeth.
Lisbeth. Okay. Lisbeth. I have been sent to speak with Lisbeth.
Yes, that's me. Looking around, you're seeing that the walls of the establishment are just like meticulously packed with scrolls, with charts, with no books. But yeah, a lot of maps.
Is this your establishment?
Yes, it is.
It is impressive.
Oh, thank you. And she stands up from behind her desk, and you hear kind of like the groaning of the planks that make up her body, and the kind of tightening of the pulley ropes that make up like the muscles of her arms. And she steps around her desk. She kind of like looms over everything in the space because she's just arguably too big for such a small place. But she looks at two of you and is just like, well, obviously you must be looking for some kind of maps or charts. So why don't you just let me know what you're after, and I'll do the best that I can.
Thank you. We are I am seeking the new location that the sailors tell has erupted after the last root quake.
Oh, are you talking about the manor house? Sorry, the Hanging Manor, right?
I believe so. Nearby,
Yes.
1 month.
Yes, I'd been hearing rumors about that place, but could never really pinpoint it with anybody. And she kind of like creaks over and pulls like a scroll down, puts it on the table in the middle, you see like the point of the spit. So you see 3 masks, and there's kind of like concentric circles outwards from it. And there's kind of like a big circle off to one side that seems like it's been kind of drawn out. She says, well, this is kind of as close as I've been able to figure out so far. Based on the scale, the circle she's drawn is like, I don't know, probably 50 to 70 kilometers in diameter, and the side off the spit. She kind of looks at the two of you and it's just like, well, like, do you have any more like info about it?
No, we were sent here. Well, I'll pull out my map that the guy sketched on and kind of lay that next to her map, and
she looks at it and looks at her map. She's kind of like, oh, well, I mean, I think this helps a little bit. That I didn't realize that it was maybe so close to this other place over here. And she kind of like pulls out whatever the old like compass and scale are to try and like draw some of the lines a little bit better, some of the circles. She's kind of hunched over. She almost seems to like forget that the two of you are standing there. She takes a couple of minutes trying to just like work this whole thing out. The two of you just kind of standing and watching.
I'll I'll watch closely. I'm curious.
She looks up probably about, I don't know, 5 minutes later, and she's just kind of like, oh, sorry, I just, I get kind of lost in the work sometimes. I mean, I think the intel that you got from, who did you say you talked to again?
The man at customs.
Oh, yes. The man who I still haven't given a name yet. That's fine. Yeah, I think it helped. I don't know why he didn't bring this to me before, but that's neither here nor there. If he's correct, I've been able to bring the kind of potential area of this prospective location to within probably about 5 kilometers, and she shows you on her map a smaller circle within the bigger one that she has. It's not quite in the center. It's kind of like off to the side a little bit, and it's considerably smaller.
Yes, that should be very searchable.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I'd definitely be willing to give this one to you if you've got something to trade for it, or
could I promise to return it with the new location drawn on more precisely?
Yes, you could. I'd always love a more updated version of the map. So yeah, how about you do that? Yes.
Wonderful.
Excellent. Okay. Well, look, can I do anything else to help you? Do you need to look for or know about anything else?
I might ask to, trade stories with her, see, if she gets stories from the sailors that come in and everything, but I won't belabor that in the scene.
She blushes as much as an ironbound can and kind of says, "Oh well, no, sadly, being the type of work I'm in and the area where I kind of am, I'm afraid I'm not flush with interesting or frankly even any stories.
How do you come by these maps?
I mostly through salvage and I trade uh I trade ships that come in for others. I make copies of the maps that I have and trade them to sailors and keep building that way.
Well, the next time you're brought a new map, I would suggest asking how they came about it.
That is an excellent point.
Would you like to hear a story anyways?
Of course.
I will... What's that, Mike?
Just giving them away.
She seems nice. And impressive.
Pretty helpful.
Impressive.
She's 1.5 feet taller than me. I'll tell her a story about the emergence of a tribe of the is it the Ketra that kind of came up from? Yeah. A more recent emergence of a tribe of Ketra that came up after a root quake and were discovered by a merchant vessel and the contact that was made with them and the stories that they brought up from underneath.
She kind of looks at you and she's kind of like, oh, that sounds harrowing.
Yes, quite an adventure for all involved. Would you like him to make your door a bit bigger so you can get out more?
I appreciate that, but I don't really.
You got it. I'm gonna
need
go.
to. She just looks, just like, oh, okay.
I thought I'd make it a bit wider too while I was at it, just because who doesn't want a wider door?
Some of the scrolls and the charts kind of clatter off the walls. Just like, it's okay. Thank you. She very much does not leave the room and still looks and is just like, you're right. That's so much better.
Happy to help. Would you like a second door?
Nope, no, that's fine. Thank you.
I always enjoy making second doors.
All right.
It's good for him to get it out of his system while we are off the ship.
Is that what that is? Okay.
I look forward to our return.
Just maybe leave him on the ship next time, please.
No, that's more dangerous for everyone.
I can bring the ship
Okay.
here if you really like.
Nope, we're good. Thank you.
I'll roll up the map we are borrowing.
Yes.
Keep it safely out of Cactar's reach, and head. I think at this point, head back to the ship.
Okay.
So what do you think? Is this a today type of journey, or should we wait around for the rest of the crew?
I suspect we'd be out in the dark if we set out now.
Yeah, you very much would. It's
You can always light a fire.
does Cactar say that out loud?
Yes, and then
All
laughs.
conversation stops and everybody turns and looks at him.
I was just gonna keep going back to the ship.
Yes, that is a beautiful spire over there. I like use my burnt hand to
Facepalm as you just trudge back to the ship. Okay. If there's nothing in particular that you guys still want to do right now, I'm kind of cool calling it there.
I think
You
I think that's good.
you did some decent work. You got a nice map to potentially go check out a new place. You've found out about a ship to go find. And you got to wait for some crew members for tomorrow, which really will be the next time we play this. Hopefully with Chris and Zoe, but we'll see. So
I hope so. Good thing. It's a good thing War was doing stuff because I was just being a pain.
breaking shit.
Undoing stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Oh God. Okay, well, do either of you have any other final thoughts before we log off for tonight?
This is so cool. I really like this so far.
Yeah. Good.
Agreed.
Cool. Okay. Well, thanks to those of you who hung out with us tonight. This was a lot of fun. I really liked this, and I'm very excited to see where Wildsea goes from here. I got to read more because, God, it's a thick book. But we'll see you next week. I think we're gonna play more Wildsea next week. We gotta play Blightfall in the next couple of weeks, but we'll probably do Wildsea again next week. So until then, you can find us at Corporate Crash Course on YouTube and Twitch, or we're at CCCRPGs on Instagram and Twitter. And until next week, take care, and we'll see you later.
Thanks.
Bye.